This is Survival Pete coming at you with a Day 13 update on the Russian-Ukrainian war. There have been a couple of significant developments today. On the home front in the United States, the Biden administration has finally signed an executive order banning all Russian imports of oil into the United States of America. So no more Russian oil coming into the country. This happens the day after, at least in my area of the country, gas broke through the $4 a gallon mark. Today, on the way home from work, I saw gasoline for $4.89 a gallon. So it's gone up significantly again, one day after it went up before. The other major development today is that Poland has decided to transfer all of its MiG-29 Fulcrum fighter planes to the United States Air Force, into their custody at the United States Air Force Base in Ramstein, Germany. So those planes will be going to Ramstein, Germany, into American custody. From there, Ukrainian pilots are supposed to go to Ramstein Air Force Base. They may already be there for all I know, or they may still have to get there. But those Ukrainian pilots are going to go to Ramstein Air Force Base and pick up all of those Polish MiG-29 fighters, having been repainted into Ukrainian colors. And those Ukrainian pilots are going to fly all those MiG-29s from Germany, from Ramstein, all the way back to Ukraine, where they will begin to engage the Russian Air Force in air-to-air combat and other sorts of missions that need to happen there in order to drive the Russians back. Geopolitically, this is an escalation. This is a big risk. Poland is supplying the planes, so they're technically the property of the Polish government. They're transferring them to the United States, so they become United States property once they're transferred to the United States. And then the United States is going to repaint them in Ukrainian colors and transfer them to Ukrainian pilots. Technically speaking, does this not make both Poland and the United States and Germany all parties to this conflict? I'm certainly thinking that Vladimir Putin and the Russian government is going to see it that way, that these three countries, NATO countries, all three of them, are actively participating to a degree in the conflict by providing not just Stinger missiles, not just anti-tank weapons, not just ammunition, not just the small ground stuff, but major military equipment that could be game changers. So I suspect that the Russian government and Vladimir Putin is going to see that as an active participation in the war by Poland, Germany, and the US. It'll be interesting to see how he reacts to that and how he counters that. Down in the southeast of the country, there has been a breakthrough of Russian forces north of Mariupol, and they have consolidated some of those gains. Also, Russian troops have been pushed back a little bit to the northeast, on the northeast battlefront just a little bit. But it appears that Russian troops are gaining ground in the south and continuing to move slowly north. There was a report today that U.S. government officials say that the Russians have underestimated the Ukrainian resistance. But I think that it's important that we remind ourselves historically that the Russians have always started weak but ended strong. Look at World War II. This is Survival Pete.